Hello, welcome back to Fire Essence Gaming. My name is Ben, and today we're going to continue on with Narcissu. We're going to pick up where we left off here at the very beginning of Chapter 6. When that high sun was just misting over, the silver coupe continued to run along the expressway. Soon, we'd be at the Katsuragawa parking area. Moving slower, we drove in what could be called a slow resting pace. Say, you want to take a break next? What's wrong?
Looks like I'm a bit tired.
I see. It wasn't too surprising. Just before, she'd been so excited, and originally, we were even more sick than ordinary sick people, so it was probably natural. Well, I'll go buy you something. Alright, I'll go buy him real quick. I closed the door with a slam. Rushing over to a nearby shop, I bought things that weren't too different from what I buy at a convenience store. Here, a Bakari and nigiri, and also the fries. Those are the words of reply, but the girl just took them and didn't move to eat. Whoops, I made that sound excited. Oh well. Even though normally she would have started eating the fries first. You alright? Is it that you're starting to feel bad?
My medicine has run out is all.
I see. Her medicine ran out. That was something I had feared. Well, no, it was something that could easily be imagined from the moment we left the hospital. Of course, I hadn't forgotten about it on purpose. Up until now, I just hadn't thought of it. I hadn't even the sense to think about it. Since when? When'd your medicine run out?
Last night.
And it's almost been an entire day. In my case, I have been told by the doctors that 2 days without taking any was my limit. Most likely, the girl's case was similar. Now that I thought about it, since the day that we left the hospital, 8 days had already passed. The amount of medicine that we carried on hand, I could have seen that sooner or later it would end up like this. Right now, what should I do? Say,
I don't like the 7th floor.
Ah, I know. And you don't want home either, right? Once again, the silver coupe ran on. In the end, I got off the expressway at the next exit. It wasn't that it would help or anything, but I wouldn't be able to do anything while on it. From the bleak expressway exit, I continued driving towards an urban area. Then I searched, not for a small-town doctor, but a large hospital. More precisely, I was looking for the pharmacies that are near large hospitals. To be honest, going to hospital may have been the best thing. If it were a normal sickness, without any hesitation, I would have done so. However, we were residents of the 7th floor. The vinyl identification bracelets wrapped around our wrists were white. And also, we were people who had fled from the 7th floor. While thinking about that, I peered around while gripping the wheel. I was sure that a pharmacy near a large hospital should have most things. Found one. Standing on the corner facing a large street was some large university hospital. Right near it were the signs of 2 or 3 pharmacies. Just when I decided I wouldn't be able to find parking, I found an open space and quickly stopped the car. Hey, let me borrow your medicine bag. With a mystified expression, the girl handed the bag of medicine over. I took the bag of medicine used in hospital wards and took out the only paper explaining the medicine. With this, it should be fine. Well, I'll be back soon. Leaving her alone in the car, I ran the short distance to the pharmacy. Passing through the stuttering, slow automatic door, I came into the store. I headed straight for the counter. Shopkeeper. Welcome. Oh. I don't think I need to read that part. The person who called out to me was a middle-aged man. Wearing white clothes, he really fit the image of a pharmacist. I need this medicine, please. Yes. Please wait a moment. With that, the man took the medicine explanation paper I handed over and went into the back. Most likely, instead of dispensing normal medicine, this place dispensed medicine from hospitals. When I went to an outpatient hospital before, I remembered going into a place like this just to get medicine. Obviously, it was built right next to the hospital, and I thought that most medicines would probably be gathered here. Sorry for the wait. Comes out to this much. Eventually, the man returned. In his hand were clear bags with capsules of medicine. He was carrying 2 bundles of them. With that much, it was probably alright for a while. At a glance, there was probably a week's worth. And then, as I was taking out my wallet... before that, may I have your prescription? Prescription? I'm talking about the prescription for the medicine. These are for clinical use, you see. You received one from your doctor, right? I hadn't expected this. And you probably should, dude, but whatever. Well, no. Thinking about it calmly, these weren't over-the-counter items, and you couldn't buy these normally. There you go. Is something the matter? No, I faltered. The man in white began to lay increasingly suspicious eyes on me. Wait, that's... Then, noticing the white bracelet wrapped around my wrist, and the words that were written on it, my name, blood type, and he was trying to read the name of the hospital. Yeah, that's why I said he should have ripped those things off a while ago. My hands moved. Ah! Nice, just stealing shit again. Medicine left on the glass counter. Reflexively, I grabbed the whole pile. Hey, wait! The man behind the counter gave a great shout. I heard that voice behind me, but I was already running. It was only 5 meters from the shop exit. Unable to gain steady footing, I was stumbling, but even then, I ran on in a daze. And then, coming to the stuttering, slow automatic door, as I was making to leave the store, at that time... Ow! Damn it! Suddenly, for a moment, my awareness turned white. I slammed my head into the edge of the automatic door with enough force that it seemed to have cracked. Nice. While shaking my wobbly head, I reached out with my hand and opened the automatic door that had stopped partially open. Then, when I got out of the store and began running, I hadn't let go of the bags of medicine I had been holding. Phew. Nice. Unable to help myself, I was out of breath, and I wound up raising my chin up. It was only a few tens of meters to the car, but it felt awfully long. It didn't seem like anyone was chasing after me, but I didn't have the luxury of looking back to check. If I were caught, what would happen to her? Alone in the car, she would probably sit there forever waiting for my return. As I thought about that for some reason, I ran in earnest. While staggering and out of breath and thinking that this was my full strength in spite of myself, I felt it was sad. I slammed the car door shut behind me. Phew. As if collapsing, I fell into the seat and panted heavily as I tore the car onto the road. Clearly, more so than the other day at the pachinko parlor, I became aware of how much my strength had slipped. I mean, that's probably at least partially true, but you also slammed your dome into a door. That's gonna leave a bit of a mark. And then, checking the rearview mirror, it looked like I really had been cut by the glass. A bit of blood was flowing from my forehead. Genius. Probably, if it's just this much, it'll stop soon. While driving, I lightly pressed some pocket tissues to it. Oh, man, this guy is just all kinds of genius.
Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
But you're bleeding.
Don't worry about it, it's nothing. To the girl, directing worried face towards me, I waved my hand, telling her not to worry. And then, with my left hand holding the wheel, I handed her the bundle of medicine. Here, take your medicine. With this, I thought we'd be fine for the moment. At the least, it would probably hold out for a week. But when this runs out, what would happen? It was good that today had been a success by chance, but it was clear that my own strength was declining every day. I mean, you're also kind of an idiot, but originally, we didn't have a goal or place to go. Because we had no desires, we had no fear of losing anything. But now, things are slightly different. With the birth of purpose, the fear of loss was also born. January 29th, Sweden Junction, something about a bridge. The day cleared up, and that clear, so very high sky that was characteristic of winter spread wide. Once again, we went on the expressway. Right now, we left the Suita Junction, and we're running along the Chugoku Expressway. Hey, what's the next one?
From the Kobe Junction.
Got it. Sanyo Expressway, right? Following the girl's directions, the silver coupe ran. Coming all the way here, the signs along the way were occasionally showing the words, Awaji-Shima. Since the day we had escaped from the 7th floor, the odometer had already passed 900 kilometers. It seemed unthinkable that we had gone so far, but considering our destination, it was just a short distance. Then, what appeared before us was a large bridge. This is the Akashi Kaikyo Bridge. It's an amazing bridge, isn't it? The two of us couldn't help but be impressed. It was as if it ran atop the sea forever. Then, after we drove for a while, right in the middle of the bridge, here and there, cars were stopped and people could be seen. Most likely, those were tourists who got out of their cars to take commemorative photos. Imitating those people, I pulled the car to a stop along the side of the road.
Stopping is prohibited here.
Well, if it's just for a bit, probably be fine. Besides, from what we've seen, a number of other cars have stopped the same way. Come on, let's go out for a bit and have a look. I'm sure it's got an amazing view.
Alright.
She sounded a little reluctant still, but the girl got out of the car to join me. A strong, cold wind whistled atop the bridge. It's colder than you'd think, isn't it? Since normally we wouldn't come out of the car, we felt it all the more. In contrast to us, further down, there were two people that seemed to be a couple. It looked like they were taking commemorative photos and raising happy voices that even we could hear. Looking around closer, other than those two, there were families and groups also taking pictures. Commemorative picture, eh? Certainly for a place like this, one was necessary. Speaking of which...
What's wrong?
Wait a sec. I was certain that there had been a camera. For the first time I had searched through the car, I remember that I had found a cheap disposable camera. At the time, from what little I saw, I thought there were a few shots left. Pulling out the camera, I checked the film. Wonderful, there's still 2 shots left. Sorry for the wait. Look, I'll take one of you. A picture. Picture, since we're here after all.
No.
Nah, don't say that. Strike a pose or something for me. As I spoke, I rated the camera, pointing it at her. Come now, try to make a bit of a happier face. However, maybe because she was embarrassed, even when she finally faced this way, she had on a sulking expression. Or perhaps, for this girl, this was her trying her best to make a smile. As I thought about that, I made ready to shoot the camera when... excuse me, could you take a picture of us? Huh? Sure. Some random couple came up to us with a camera in hand. Okay, ready? Yes, please. Happily, the two hugged shoulders and the two of them smiled. I placed the two of them in the viewfinder and hit the shutter. The shutter clicked. Thank you very much.
Well, in exchange, we'll take a picture of you two.
No, we're... just press here on the camera, right? Faster than my reply, he took my camera. Actually, it was more like he snatched it. Probably he was being polite. Ignoring her hesitation, he quickly readied the camera. Come now, two of you, get closer together. With those words, I moved my body just a bit closer to the girl. Still looking emotionless as always, the girl next to me also moved just a hint closer. Could you please pose a bit more? Nosily, the boyfriend started adding more requests. And looking closer, the guy's girlfriend was also giving us exasperated looks. Thinking there was no helping it, from behind her back to her shoulder, I slowly wrapped my arm around her. It was the first time I touched her body. The feeling of the childish clothes we bought the other day and the waist-length hair spread through my hands. Looking at the camera, I couldn't see the girl's expression, but maybe she might be wearing that embarrassed, pouting face that she would only show very rarely. Well then, ready. The shutter clicked. Perhaps satisfied that they'd taken a decent picture, the couple returned to their car. We also turned towards our own car. The girlfriend, eh?
Looks like we've been mistaken.
Yep, guess I was both. Oh well, whatever. Could it be that we look alike? We look like it? I said it in just a bit of a joking way. For some reason, it felt fun, and I just wound up continuing that light tone. Well, you, no. Well, what do you think, Satsumi?
What's with that? You're the younger one.
Even with those words, the same as always, she was facing the window. Her expression was the same, and she didn't even move to look in my direction. But that was... Her eyes weren't the only ones that looked far away. I had a feeling that it was embarrassing, so she was turning her face away. January 29, Smoto Interchange. Looking up at the high sun, that characteristically blue sky spread on and on. From then, we went on for just a bit and arrived at the Smoto Interchange. Once again, we exited and returned to the normal roads. We finally arrived, haven't we? Since that day we left the 7th floor, the car's trip meter showed some 900 kilometers. For an unplanned start, we really did make it all the way here. Well, where should we go from here?
South.
South. Got it. Following the girl's direction, I set off. Of course, coming here, even I knew what the place would be. I could see a number of signs for tourists in front of me. However, I followed her navigation. I had a feeling they'd be wrong if I didn't. For some reason, I wanted to do it that way. Nice, okay. Pretty interesting chapter. Yeah, so go ahead and call it quits for today right here. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.